Hello and welcome to this mix-up, and today's mix-up is Frostie Pink Lemonade. Frostie, introduced in 1939, produced in Detroit, Michigan by Towne Club. I haven't been to Detroit in 9 years. It's almost 10 years since I've been there. Bought a lot of interesting products when I was there. Just time flies, you know. This is the pink lemonade made with pure cane sugar, no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweetener. $1.25 at Rouse's or at Winn-Dixie when I bought it. There's the heater coming on. Turn that off for a little while. If I get a little chilled, that'll be all right. Okay, got something to warm my insides. Natural and artificial flavors. So we have a mix-up with Vodoffska, triple distilled and 10 times filtered, imported from Mexico. Sugarcane vodka, of all things, made with sugarcane for Dubai Island International. Traditional charcoal filtration method. Now some people will say like blended whiskey, Canadian and American blended whiskey is brown vodka. Wrong. Because they use neutral grain spirits. Well, neutral grain spirits are not triple distilled and 10 times filtered, okay? Neutral grain spirits are distilled, stop, and stored, and now the government regulations said they have to be stored in oak, which technically would be aging, but I guess you could say, but they're usually immediately blended. They probably don't store them much. They blend them with a bourbon, typically, to make blended whiskey. Or in Canada with rye whiskey or grain whiskey, barley, malt whiskey, and then they age all those together for 3 years. Because in Canada, they can't use the raw distillate. Vodka is a grain neutral spirit, or could be, because it could be made from sugarcane. But the vodka grain neutral spirit is distilled repeatedly, then it's filtered repeatedly to get rid of any kind of impurities in flavors. So it's a more refined product than a grain neutral spirit. They're in the same family, but they're not the same product. All right, but anyway, this is a sugarcane spirit. And I bought this at International Market for $7.99. Got a great deal, but then I found out I could have got an even greater deal because Star has it for $7.49. But I didn't know that. Okay. No, not Star. Total Wine and More, but it was in a different town. It's a brown cap. It's got brown, red, silver, and blue. So it's a nice color scheme if you like those subdued kind of earth and sea tones. Now, sugarcane vodka, does it smell and taste similar to clear rum? Silver rum. Yes. If someone gave this to me and said this is a silver rum, guess what it is? I would start working on that and I would think that that's what it was. Just saying. The flavor. I have a whole bunch of white rums, silver rums, clear rums in a cabinet in the kitchen. And they taste, smell, and have the mouthfeel in the body very similar to this. So I think the separation between sugarcane vodka and clear rum is sort of okay. Little hiss here. Lightly carbonated Frostie. Now, some Frosty bottles, I've not seen that around here, but I've seen people on the internet showing them with their little character. There's like a little male guy, like a little Santa Claus looking character. But here it's just the words. It's words with the snow or ice cap and then the drinks. Like here, the lemonade with the straw. And all right, lemon wedge. Okay, so I think Frostie's licensed out to different producers, so it could depend on your region. Sort of like here, like earlier this year, the pure sugar Dr. Pepper showed up from Texas. You don't pretty much ever see that, but there it was in those 12-ounce glass bottles, and it didn't last too long, and it sold out, and I never saw it again. Had a different label too. All right, with the clock, the old, the old time clock. All right, yeah. So for a lowbrow, sort of a value approach cocktail, this is really good. So we find that the Frosty pairs exceptionally well with Nikolai. Premium vodka with premium liqueur, the green label, which I paid $8.99 plus tax. Paid for this $8.99 plus tax at Total Wine and More. Although everybody's got this. In New Orleans, not in this parish. I'm west of New Orleans, we don't get as much. But everywhere in New Orleans area has this. I mean, it might be around here, but I hadn't seen it. I don't like constantly survey every liquor store around here, meaning convenience store, grocery store. We don't actually have liquor stores. I can guarantee you I've never seen Vodoffska in this parish, but I've seen it in Jefferson Parish. Okay, so. But if it's in a couple of places, that means it's in more than a couple of places. So yeah, it's a known product, but I wouldn't say beloved. But I do like it. I think it's a good product. And if you read and what lets you know that if you read the reviews on Total Wine and More, because anybody can put a review on Total Wine, just make an account, and they just, whatever you post, they'll put it. It could be gibberish. They'll let it stay up there. So, so they're not like controlling what's on there. You'll get like 85% positive, 5% so-so about it, and then there's a 10% that absolutely hates it and says it's the worst thing ever made. It smells like gasoline. But those extremist posters, it's like they're not attached to what's really happening with the product. So I think it really, if you look at those reviews, it kind of bears out that it is a good product. Because you get fanatics that they just, everything they review, they hate it. Hate every beer. Every wine they try is, horrible. Tastes like mud. Every liquor they try is terrible. Every hotel they stay at, they're on Yelp. They've got to be on Yelp, TripAdvisor. Every hotel's horrible. It's full of roaches. It's full of smudges and smears, and it's never been dusted. It's filthy. It's terrible, dingy, horrible. But I've been to some of these hotels, like when I was in Spain. It's like, this is nothing like what these fanatics were describing. There's no dust, it's not dirty, it's clean, it's neat. And I knew that was the case because you get, like I say, those fanatical posts, but then the other 85% is saying, it was all right to me. Wasn't fancy, but I wasn't going there to stay at a hotel. I was going to Spain to go visit the country and tour, look at interesting like Roman artifacts or Roman ruins, or look at the beautiful marina, or and those kind of things. So they said, yeah, to go sleep, yeah. So you got to take that into account when you review these products. And it could be even a better product. Could be Buffalo Trace bourbon. You'll get those reviews that will say outrageous things about it. You know, that is terrible. Now, it's not amazing like some people say. I'll agree. A Buffalo Trace is not amazing. It just tastes like regular old bourbon to me. So, but it's definitely not terrible like a few people might claim. I don't know what their end game is, like what their goal is supposed to be. Mm. Mm. Really nice. You know, really nice for what it is. I mean, I wouldn't give this as like a 50th anniversary gift or a wedding gift. You know, you're not going to give Vodoffska and Frostie lemonade as a wedding gift. But if you're at a picnic, you know, in Grand Isle, Louisiana, or one of those Gulf coastal islands in Texas, and they're having a shrimp boil or fish fry, yeah, it would be perfect for that sort of setting. I mean, you have to kind of like gauge what the setting is. So anyway, yeah. So Laissez les bon temps relais. I'll give the Frostie. I forgot to review that. Give the score in the Nikolai mix-up. But yeah, I'll give it a 90. Yeah, I'm going to go with 93 on this one. This is a really good Frostie variant. It's much better than the original because it doesn't have that sucralose. So definitely a 93, a most excellent soft drink for what that is. The Vodoffska is definitely a B. Score keeps climbing, hasn't gone down. It's getting it, you know, it started off as like an 83. Now it's getting close to B+. Nikolai's holding its own right there in the mid-range, 85, 86 level. So just goes to show you, you don't have to pay a fortune to get something pretty enjoyable. And I'm going to end this mix-up by saying stay tuned because I plan to do another one in about exactly a week.